With the fair winding down, we decided to start this week's Explore Tulsa with a place that offers the family indoor thrills all year long.
Then the next Elon Musk.
Followed by the art of comic booking.
Plus a dream come true on Cherry Street.
Hi there, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. We're so happy to see you back with us for more Explore Tulsa. Stevie, what in the world are you doing?
Practicing skating so I can take my grandkids to the new Skating Thrills in Owasso.
You know, if you're gonna practice, you might wanna actually put some real skates on.
Just pretending to be on skates is much safer for me.
Oh, Robert and Tammy Johnson have made Wheels and Thrills safe and fun for everyone of all ages.
Yes, I think our first kiss was at the skating rink. We both at Rick's Roll Arena here in Owasso, it was our first jobs, both of us, and so that is where we met. It's been a dream forever, and then when the Owasso facility closed, it just became our passion to try and get to where we could be able to do this.
Well, my wife and I, in '83, when Rick Carson and Rick and Lenore Carson bought the skate ranch and turned it into Rick's Roll Arena, I was one of their first employees, and at the age of, I think, 13. So I started working for them, and you know, it's just been a passion. You know, it's something that we've always liked. Met my wife there.
And we just work together, and it just gets in your blood. It's so exciting. And we've wanted to do this ever since the Owasso facility closed. We've wanted to open another one. We were just too young at first. No one would, you know, really listen to us, and now we're old enough, and we can do this. So it's been amazing.
You know, it's one of the things that we always just strive to. We want to do things right. We want people to walk in and be wowed, and hey, this, you know, they took their time and they put everything into it.
Our passion in the roller skating industry, it's just a great way for people of all ages to participate together and make memories together. So we added the other attractions to try and keep the teenagers interested, and the play zone is amazing. We have a special area for 3 and under only, so every member of the family, from the itty bitties to grandma and grandpa, everybody can come and play and have memories, and the music takes you back to that day and time. It always takes you back somewhere. Especially in this day and age, so many grandparents are raising their grandkids, so they will come and bring their grandkids just for something to do, and they still get to enjoy the music. Our adult night skate, it's amazing. We have a 72-year-old man that comes out here almost every week and skates, and he brings a group of people, they all just skate together. It is amazing to see the way it used to be. They're all dancing and shuffling, and that is amazing to know that we can bring that back, and their memories are, we're all playing the old 80s songs, the good ones to skate to. It's amazing the memories we create. Well, we have our Tiny Tots on every Thursday from 10 to 1, as you see here, and we really enjoy the littles. It's my favorite session of the whole week. We also have special nights for our teenagers. Saturday night after 10 o'clock, it's 16 and older only. So we're hitting a really good group of people there. Family time, almost any time. We're open all day Saturday from 11 in the afternoon till 1 in the morning on Sunday, straight through. The only restriction is the 10 o'clock, it's 16 and older only. We plan on having character visits. Our first character visit coming up is Mike and Sully. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's just bringing the kids all together so we can have a great time and make memories. That's the most important thing, families making memories. It has been an emotional roller coaster for us. Since we've been thinking about this so long, it is like a dream come true. And out on the sidewalk, I got to etch when they were building Dreams Do Come True. So I took a nail and etched Dreams Do Come True in the cement outside. And it's exactly when I was writing that, trying to think back at how hard we worked and how, you know, people will come in and they'll say, is this a franchise? No, it's blood, sweat, and tears all poured into one and came out to this beautiful facility. And we're very, very proud of what we've done together.
We love the kids, we love the community, And I just think back on my childhood and think of where I'd be right now if it wasn't for the local skating rink, being up there every weekend. And you know, that's what I want to provide here. I want people and families to be able to come up here and have a good time, have a good, safe place. And I owe my whole life really to the skating rink and my parents.
I always love a story like Robert and Tammy starting their love story at a skating rink and now living a dream by bringing others the same fun they enjoyed.
To join in on the fun for yourself or to book a party, visit wheelsandthrills.com to learn more.
I wonder if there's a way to invent skates that won't let you fall down.
We could ask inventor Zack Hale when we visit Fab Lab, next with more Explore Tulsa.
Sony and Video Revolution take you there. From space travel to world championships. Tomorrow's technology today. 4K smart TVs and the largest flat screens available. Now more than ever, you have the best seat in the world when history is made. Video Revolution. On the northwest corner, 71st and Lewis.
When I listen to music, I close my eyes and it takes me away. Anytime we bring a new speaker into the studio, we tune the speaker for the room. Every room sounds different, and every environment that the speaker goes into affects the sound of the speakers. Now you can do the same thing at home that we do in the studio. I can think of no better feeling than to close your eyes and disappear into the music.
Come here for yourself at Video Revolution.
Hello and welcome back for more Explore Tulsa. Now Stevie, have you ever invented anything?
Well, I've taken plenty of things apart, but most of the time I can't put them back together. But when I do, I usually have parts left over.
That's what I thought, but that's the beginning to every great inventor. Just ask Tulsa's own Zack Hale.
So the first time I got into making was probably when I was 4 or so. I started just taking things apart, took apart my mom's exercise bike, took apart radios, and just built them into things that were new. To me, it was just fun and exciting. I don't know if I really looked up to anyone in particular. I just did what I felt like doing. The first major project of mine was when I was about 15 and I built a portable GameCube. I took all the GameCube is a game console by Nintendo, and I took it apart. I put all of the internals of it into a smaller case with its own screen and controls, and that was just because I was so into the GameCube at the time. It was my first game console, so I wanted to just make something cool. I got inspired by people off the internet, really. Yeah, the process for building things can be messy most of the time. For example, I burnt out about 7 GameCubes before I built the working one. And I have a portable Wii U, which is also interesting. And then I have a high-power flashlight and a high-power LED lamp with a flexible head. That's my newest. So the way I look for inspiration for projects is mainly I discover some element of the project that I really like, and that could be like a thermoelectric cooler, so I decide to build a refrigerator to demonstrate how they work. Or I really get into these high-power LEDs, so I decide to build like a big lamp or a flashlight. I usually just get my inspiration from the internet, from YouTube videos when I see people who build similar projects, and I try to do my own take of it and make it better. I'm in school right now for TCC. I go there for electrical engineering technology, and I also have a couple of jobs that I do as a assistant and a production manager. Yeah, I work for a startup company here in Tulsa called Technologies, and I do all of the electrical engineering production there. and we build these specialized computers for downloading crash data from trucks. And I've been there for a few years and just learned the more professional side of how to manufacture. I found Fab Lab around 2012. My grandma found a news article about it, and I came here and it just seemed like so much of it was just for me. So I've been a member ever since. I think the most important thing about Fab Lab here is that it's open to the public and that it's not part of a college. That's really kind of rare in the US. Because it allows anyone who has an idea to make it physical, who otherwise wouldn't be able to afford any of the machines here. They make it possible for you to really carve your own path too. So you're not having to follow anyone's rules to a certain extent. I feel really happy when something that I put a lot of time and energy to finally works. I mean, it's to be expected if you try enough, but it's just, I don't know, I can't describe it. The thing I would recommend most is to not try to follow anyone else's exact plans. When you feel inspired, you can really go about it any way you want. And you know, it's obviously not for everyone. Everyone has to have their own hobbies, but if you're into electronics, I would just start messing around, taking things apart. There's no right way.
Man, if my kids had taken apart my exercise bike, they'd have been grounded from Nintendo for at least a day.
To find Zack or to become an inventor for yourself, visit fablabtulsa.org.
Sometimes when inventing, it'd be like really nice to have a good mock-up drawing to get you started.
That's actually a pretty good idea. And the guy that can draw just about anything is our next guest when we visit Miracle Studios next on Explore Tulsa.
When eating products with high glycemic carbohydrates like sugar and flour, our bodies release large amounts of insulin to convert what we've consumed into usable energy.
If insulin is continually elevated, our bodies are signaled to store fat.
Keep in mind, sugar calories are deadly calories, which can lead to heart attacks, obesity, and type 2 diabetes.
The key is to keep insulin under control. Stay away from high glycemic index carbohydrates.
At least 80% of our daily carbohydrates should be from the low glycemic variety. Get our free glycemic index food chart at sherwoodwellness.tv. Take charge of your health. We are what we put into our bodies.
We approach medicine from a unique standpoint. Rather than treating only the symptoms of an illness, we work to find the root cause and promote wellness of the entire body.
Our clinic offers complete assessment and treatment programs, including hormone replacement therapy, osteopathic manipulative therapy, and genetic DNA testing. It all starts with a medical evaluation.
Contact us today to begin your path to wellness.
Hi there. If you're a big fan of comic book artistry, you'll be so glad you stuck around for more Explore Tulsa.
Did you read a lot of comic books growing up, Stevie?
Well, I did. I remember my grandpa would always take us out and buy us one when we'd be shopping with him. And later, as a teen, I got hooked on Mad Magazine.
Oh, well, that definitely explains a lot about who you are now. Maybe you have a lot in common with our next guest.
Well, there's no doubt that we both love drawing, but Terry Tidwell has a talent that I can only dream of.
When I was about 4 years old, I started drawing comic strips. And as I recall, it was mainly about dinosaurs chasing cavemen. But yeah, I was drawing at a very young age, and I was drawing comic strips. What enabled me to make a living at it? Well, first of all, I showed my work to a Marvel editor, Jim Shooter. Gave me my first break, and he wanted me to come to New York, which I did, and I brought my art with me, and I started picking up work from Marvel and DC Comics, and then a lot of the independent comics. In fact, I created with John Woolley. He's a pretty famous writer here in Oklahoma. You probably heard of him. He used to work for the Tulsa World. Well, he and I created several comic book series. He would write them and I would draw them. And we worked for a lot of independent companies back in the 80s. So we've got 2 Twilight Avenger graphic novels, and the Twilight Avenger was set in Tulsa, Oklahoma in the 30s. So in the backgrounds there's lots of Tulsa buildings and stuff like that. And as the Twilight Avenger, the other one is the Miracle Squad, and it's about a place called Miracle Studios. It's what I named my studio after. I'm the real Miracle Studios, but we did a fictitious version, which was a really poverty row Hollywood studio back in the 1930s. And it's about their adventures fighting a gang that's trying to take over their studio. And then one of my favorite books, something I created, and then John came in and wrote it, was a book called The Uncanny Man-Frog. And it was serious, but it had quite a bit of humor in it, and it was I've always been really interested in science and engineering and stuff, so it was a book kind of based on genetic engineering, manipulating the genes in human embryos, and it made this creature called Man-Frog. And he wasn't a superhero, he's just a regular guy, but he looked like a freak. His hands were webbed, and I don't know, I really liked working on that book. Right now, I still do comic book type strips, you know, like stuff like this, and cartoons, and one thing I do is a lot of this stuff. This is storyboards for like TV commercials and stuff. And it's, you know, as you can see, it's very comics related. Well, I quit my engineering job. I used to be a civil engineer with the Army Corps of Engineers here in Tulsa. So I quit my job because it turned out I was going to make more money working on Miracle Squad and Twilight Avenger. So I was all excited, but within a couple of months, there was a big crash in the independent comics market, and my books just plummeted, and couldn't publish them anymore. Or my publisher, you know, they weren't making any money. So I thought, well, I have to go back being an engineer, which I like being an engineer. But as a last-ditch effort, I went to some advertising agencies in Tulsa, and they go, well, this is great, we can use you for storyboards. So I made a lot more money in commercial art, and right now I'm thinking about trying to do a graphic novel. I'd kind of like to get back into comics, maybe on the side, and I'm thinking about maybe asking Marvel or DC or one of the companies to sign me like an 8-page story a month, and something I think I could handle in addition to my commercial work. I'm incredibly lucky that I can work on what I want to work on, and this was always my dream. Even as a little kid, I loved to draw, and I don't know, I grew up playing sports and stuff too, but I love drawing, and now that's what I'm doing for a living, and it's the best, I think.
Terry was a lot of fun to hang out with, and he let me draw on his big screen Wacom board. That was pretty cool.
To get Terry to sketch up some fun comic book art for you, visit Miracle Studios to see more of his work and learn how to visit with him.
Talk about dreams coming true. Terry went from an engineer to a comic book artist. That is pretty amazing.
Just as sweet as Morgan Gillespie's girlhood dream of owning her own shop on Cherry Street, which we stop into next when More Explore Tulsa continues. Why are we in spacesuits?
We are traveling to the future, where TVs have a contrast range between 400 nits of brighter whites and blacks as deep as 0.4 nits, and 10-bit color. It gives us over 1 billion individual colors on the screen.
Video Revolution already has tomorrow's TVs today with the best in Sony high dynamic range TVs.
TVs with contrast and color offering more natural, true-to-life colors?
Oh yes, Video Revolution now and in the future on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get 1 pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99, or my 2-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
Hi again. It's nice to see you still with us for more Explore Tulsa, and we hope you're ready to do some shopping.
Again? Are you gonna drag me all over the place like last time?
Well, you got ice cream, didn't you?
Yeah.
We're only making one stop today. Modern Cottage is a great place to find all sorts of things for your home or office decor.
Plus, I like that owner Morgan Gillespie told us that her dad is her partner, and he did so much to help her get started and make her dream come true.
My great-great-grandfather, T.A. Lee, he opened a hardware store in around 1890. It was in Collinsville, Oklahoma, and it was in business for over 90 years. So it started as Lee's Hardware, and when a daughter would get married, if the husband joined the business, it would take on the husband's name. So it went from Lee's Hardware to Burnside & Lee's, and then to Burnside & Heinrich's, which was my grandparents. My mom grew up in the hardware store. It was her parents that had the Burnside & Heinrich's, and it was always her dream to own a store as well because she grew up in that business, and we feel like we definitely have an entrepreneur in our blood. 2013, my mom opened a store in Owasso called the Flying Pig Vintage Market, and I worked for her through the beginning, and a couple years into it, I took over and I owned it for about a year and a half, and up until just this spring, the opportunity came to rent this space, and it's always been my passion to have my own shop. Modern Cottage has always been the name I've loved for years, and it was just always a dream of mine, and here we are. It's really just been a name that's been on my mind for many years. I love it. One of the main things is, one, cottage means just home, and small, simple home is the definition. Modern, a lot of people think that modern is like sleek or ultra, straight line. Modern really just means current. People, we're constantly changing and evolving, and our styles change, and I know trends won't last forever, and I think that's what's exciting about Modern Cottage is that, we will evolve with the trends and with the styles, and it'll be exciting to see what Modern Cottage will be in 5 years or 10 years. So I've wanted to have a store ever since I was about middle school, and if any of my family had ever asked where I wanted to be on Cherry Street, and the Colonial Building has always been my favorite. So back in May, when this space came available and there was an opportunity to rent it, we jumped on it as fast as we could because I really feel like timing is everything, and it really just all fell into place, and we're real excited to be a part of Cherry Street. What you'll find here at Modern Cottage is a little mix of everything. We have, of course, modern farmhouse, which is really in style right now. It's on trend. Farmhouse, I feel like, will be around for a while, but the core of this style is, I feel like, just the new traditional, and I think it's here to stay. We have an eclectic mix of bohemian, industrial, farmhouse, traditional, a little bit of everything. There's something for everyone. So I feel like the values that showed through their business and the longevity of their business has really inspired me to treat my customers like I would want to be treated. I want people when they come in to feel like they're at home, that they're welcome, and really just get a sense of belonging in somewhere, because I've heard so many stories through the years of how people really grew up with the hardware store in Collinsville, and I've heard so many stories from their customers and children's and grandchildren that would go in and they remember my grandparents and my great-grandparents, and I would just love for that, to happen to Modern Cottage.
What a great story, from having a dream of following in her great-grandfather's footsteps of owning her own business too.
To find Morgan's shop, search for Modern Cottage on Facebook or stop in at her place on Cherry Street, right next to the Rustic Cup.
If I follow in my great-grandpa's footsteps, I'm gonna live to be like 104. Whew. That means we'll be doing another 50 years of the show together.
Well, stick around. Sounds like there's gonna be a lot more Explore Tulsa just ahead.
Oh yeah, there is.
We do podiatry, we do dental oral appliances, we do women's health, we see children, pediatrics, and overall family care.
I'm a primary care provider for Sooner Care. We're also taking commercial insurances now as well. Any given day, I might do a well child on a 4-day-old baby and then see a 72-year-old who's here because they need to follow up on their sleep study.
Patients seem to like the idea where they can just come here and they don't have to worry about going to all these different specialists, whether they need a sleep study or a CPAP machine or diabetic shoes or an oral appliance. We help bring all that to the table for them.
And especially with oral appliances, custom fit by a specially trained dentist, and we have Dr. Bennett, who's the best in the business.
It has been my dream to be able to work with all the specialties together. There are not many places in the United States that have all parts of this together. To me, it's amazing, and that's truly how sleep and patient care should be.
Are your memories fading?
And no, not the ones stored in your little gray cells. The memories you've collected on those old VHS camcorders.
Or even that beat-up Super 8.
Video Revolution can restore your memories from any outdated format and return them to you in a DVD or Blu-ray form.
That way you can relive the past on the big screen.
We can even produce digital copies for you to share with your families or friends online.
Check us out on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Hey, this is Daniel Gulick, local artist in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you're watching Explore Tulsa.
Be sure and join us next week on Explore Tulsa when we meet Jeremy at Vintage Motorsports.
Special thanks to Robert and Tammy Johnson for bringing their dream to life and fun for the whole family at Wheels and Thrills in Owasso.
Thanks too to Zack Hale for sharing his inventions with us and showing us all that can be created at Fab Labs Tulsa. And special thanks to Terry Tidwell for sharing his comic book work with us at Miracle Studios.
Plus thanks to Morgan Gillespie for sharing her family history with us and showing us her shop at the Modern Cottage.
Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at exploretulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook and share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus, remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for all your home entertainment needs.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of Tulsa's best eye care value, with 2 locations, 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
And we welcome our newest sponsors, Doctors Mark and Michelle Sherwood at 61st and Sheridan.
Remember, your journey to whole body healing and wellness begins with the Functional Medical Institute.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.